Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to do a deep dive into AI and GPUs, and specifically looking at this development called DeepSeek.
Right.
And we're looking at a Korean news article that covers NVIDIA's latest earnings announcement.
Got it.
And I don't know if you remember, but DeepSeek was this big open source AI model that people thought was going to really shake things up.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk about how it could potentially impact NVIDIA sales.
Yeah.
Especially their GPU sales. The idea was that with DeepSeek being so accessible and powerful, it might steer developers away from needing that specialized hardware.
Yeah, the whole open source is going to level the playing field kind of thing.
Exactly.
But then NVIDIA had their earnings call and things got,
Interesting.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is that NVIDIA actually exceeded market expectations.
Really?
Yeah, they posted some pretty remarkable figures, especially considering all the talk about the AI sector maybe slowing down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they hit, get this, $380.5 billion in revenue.
Whoa.
Yeah, a 78% jump year over year.
Hold on, 78%? But I thought everyone was worried about AI demand cooling off.
Well, there was a slight dip in the quarterly growth rate, but that's mostly because the previous demand was so huge that supply just couldn't keep up,
So they were selling everything they could make, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. And they're even projecting a record $130.5 billion in revenue for the whole fiscal year.
Jeez.
Which is a 114% increase. So
business is booming for them.
Yeah.
Even with DeepSeek out there.
Exactly.
But didn't it dip last month because of DeepSeek?
It did, yeah. And I mean, it's understandable, right? The fear was that, a model as powerful and open source as DeepSeek could really reduce, the need for these high-end GPUs that NVIDIA is known for.
Right. So what happened? Did NVIDIA do some spin or something?
It's funny you say that because they didn't.
Really?
No. In fact, their CEO, Jensen Huang, actually praised DeepSeek.
What?
Yeah, he called it a remarkable innovation and a positive force for NVIDIA.
Wait, really? That doesn't make any sense.
I know, right?
Why would NVIDIA be happy about an open source AI model that could, like we said, potentially undercut their hardware sales?
Right. Well, this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
So Huang's argument, it kind of hinges on this idea of inference.
Inference.
Yeah, think of it like this. Training in AI, that's like teaching.
Okay.
But actually using it, that's like performing.
Ah.
And DeepSeek is a high performer.
Yeah.
But that kind of performance, that demands massive
resources.
Yeah, computational resources.
So even though it's free to use, running it actually takes a lot of power, which is where NVIDIA comes in.
Exactly. That's the key insight here. Huang, he pointed out that this inference stage, right, where these models like DeepSeek are actually put to work that can consume, get this, 100 times more computing power than the initial training.
Wow.
Yeah, 100 times.
So it's like saying training for a marathon takes way less energy than actually running the race.
That's a great analogy.
So the more people use DeepSeek, the more powerful GPUs they need, which helps NVIDIA.
Exactly. It seems kind of counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
But the rise of this open source AI, it's making AI more accessible to everybody, sure.
Right.
But it's also could be driving an even greater need for this specialized hardware.
And especially the kind that NVIDIA makes.
Yeah, especially the high-performance stuff that they specialize in.
So DeepSeek, instead of being a threat, is actually pushing the whole AI world towards needing NVIDIA's products even more.
That's the argument.
That's a pretty wild twist.
And, there's actually more evidence to support this idea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So several major tech companies have publicly said they're planning to increase their spending on GPUs, in the coming years.
Means?
Well, think about it. NVIDIA, they pretty much dominate the data center market right now, right?
Right.
And that's where a lot of this AI processing happens.
Sure.
And their data center revenue, it almost doubled in 2024.
Wow.
To $115 billion. And that's with a 16% increase just from last quarter.
So this whole DeepSeek is going to kill NVIDIA thing is looking kind of shaky.
Yeah, I think the market might have jumped to conclusions a little bit.
Sometimes things are more complicated than they seem, huh?
It seems that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes the reality is a lot more nuanced than those initial perceptions.
And that nuance just put billions of dollars into NVIDIA's pocket.
It seems so.
Here's what I don't get, though. If DeepSeek is just a taste of what's coming, what does that mean for computing power?
That's the big question.
Like, are we going to need to, like, rethink computing entirely to keep up?
Well, that's what researchers are trying to figure out.
Because AI is already in almost everything.
Oh, yeah. And if this trend continues, it's only going to become more prevalent.
It's going to impact everything, how we do research, how we entertain ourselves, like everything.
Absolutely. It's a really fascinating time to be looking at all of this. But I think we've covered a lot already.
Yeah, we have.
Why don't we take a moment to just kind of absorb all this?
Okay.
And then we can dive into some of those bigger questions you were just talking about.
Sounds good to me. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
So DeepSeek and all its AI friends are basically throwing this nonstop party for NVIDIA's GPUs.
They sure are keeping those chips busy.
But let's zoom out for a second.
Okay.
What does this massive need for computing power mean for the rest of the world? Like beyond NVIDIA's profits, Right. Well, that's where things get, I think, really fascinating.
Okay.
We're kind of seeing this fundamental shift in how we think about computing.
Like how so?
Well, it's not just about, processing data anymore. It's about systems that can learn and adapt and
think for themselves.
Yeah. Like almost think for themselves.
But that brings up a question. Like, if we're creating machines with this much power, how do we make sure they don't,
take over the world?
Yeah, the whole sci-fi thing.
I understand the concern. It's a common one, but I think it's important to remember that at its core, AI it's a tool.
Right.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
So it's all about how we use it.
Yeah, the real challenge is making sure that these powerful systems that we're building, that they're
aligned with.
They're aligned with human values. Exactly.
Okay, so it's not about stopping AI. Right. It's about guiding it.
Yeah, steering it in the right direction.
But what about jobs though? If AI can automate all this stuff, what happens to people?
That's definitely a valid concern.
I mean, I've seen those movies where the robots take everybody's jobs, and it's,
right.
It's like a whole dystopia thing.
Well, I think job displacement is a real issue that we need to think about.
Yeah.
But history shows us that whenever we have these big technological advancements,
right,
they often create new industries, new jobs that we couldn't even imagine before.
Like what?
Well, think about the internet, right? I mean, it disrupted so many industries, but it also created, entirely new fields.
Like what?
Like e-commerce.
Oh, right.
Social media.
So it's not like robots versus humans necessarily.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
It's more about adapting
to the new reality.
Yeah. And that means investing in education and retraining.
So people can keep up.
Right. So people can thrive in this new world.
Okay. So we talked about some of the potential downsides.
Yeah.
What about the really amazing things that AI can do?
Oh, yeah.
Like curing diseases or solving climate change, like those big problems.
I mean, the possibilities they're truly exciting.
Yeah.
We're just starting to understand the full potential of all this.
It's kind of like we've unlocked this new power.
Yeah.
But with great power
comes great responsibility.
Exactly.
Right. It's really important that we approach this whole new era of AI with both optimism and a bit of caution.
Sure.
We need to be mindful of the risks, of course.
Yeah.
But we also need to, actively explore all the amazing opportunities that it presents.
And who knows? Maybe someone listening to this right now will be the one who helps shape that future.
That'd be amazing.
So we started by talking about DeepSeek's impact on NVIDIA. Then we kind of zoomed out to the wider effects of AI on jobs and the future of humanity. And now we're talking about just the sheer potential of this technology.
That's a lot to take in.
It is. Where do we even go from here? What does all this mean for us in the long run?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it?
It is.
And I think only time will tell.
I guess so.
But one thing's for sure, it's going to be a fascinating journey.
Well said. We started with DeepSeek, and now we're talking about the future of humanity.
That's how it goes sometimes.
That's what I love about these deep dives.
Yeah.
You never know where they'll lead.
It's true. The pursuit of knowledge is always unpredictable.
Yeah.
And ultimately, very rewarding.
Absolutely. But we've covered so much already today.
Yeah.
Why don't we take another short break?
Okay.
Then we'll come back and wrap up this whole deep dive with some final thoughts. Okay, so we're back and ready to wrap things up.
Yeah, as we kind of conclude our deep dive here,
okay.
I want to leave you with a final thought-provoking idea. Maybe.
I'm all ears.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about this growing demand for computational power.
Right, yeah, fueled by all these AI models.
Exactly, and they're just getting more complex.
Hungrier.
Yeah, they're hungry. They're hungry for more processing power.
All the time, yeah.
All the time. But what if instead of just trying to
we'd build bigger chips.
Yeah, build bigger and faster chips.
Yeah.
What if we explore different ways of computing altogether?
So like not just improving existing chips,
no,
but like rethinking the whole idea of computation.
Exactly, yeah. There's this whole growing field of research looking into new computing architectures that are actually inspired by nature.
Really?
Yeah, things like quantum computing or neuromorphic computing, which actually mimics the structure of the human brain.
So instead of just throwing more power at a problem, we could find like more
elegant.
Yeah, more elegant solutions by learning from nature.
Exactly. And these bio-inspired approaches, I mean, they could lead to
breakthroughs.
Yeah, breakthroughs in AI and who knows what other fields.
You guys can't even imagine right now.
Yeah,
it's like instead of building a faster car,
yeah,
we invent teleportation.
There you go.
It's just a completely different way of getting around.
I like that analogy. Yeah.
So as we kind of move into this AI powered future, it's not just about, having the fastest GPUs.
No.
It's about like challenging the very foundations of how we think about computing.
And that, I think, is where the real adventure begins.
That's a great way to put it. We started with DeepSeek's surprising impact on NVIDIA. Then we talked about the broader implications of AI on jobs and even like the future of humanity.
It's a big topic.
It's a huge topic.
Yeah.
And now we're considering like the potential for entirely new forms of computing.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
It really is. This is why I love doing these deep dives.
Yeah, you never know where they're going to lead.
You never know where they're going to take you. But on that note, we'll leave you to ponder all these exciting possibilities.
Keep those brains buzzing.
And we'll catch you on our next deep dive into the unknown.